morning, it's Saturday the 14th of December and I'm looking all glam. I have a husband with me.
Good morning.
We're off to Harrogate, so I don't know if we'll get parked because we've been debating the world this morning. And yeah, it's quite late now, it's about 10:30 when we're setting off and it takes about an hour to get there. So yes, we shall see when we get there if we can actually get parked, but I've not been to Harrogate for quite some time. In fact, I think the last time I went was the knitting and stitching show with Tamlin last year, and Martin's not actually ever been. I think we talked about this a couple of days ago, so I won't go through all that again, but yeah, we're actually going to have a look round, hopefully pick up the last Christmas presents that we need to get. And I'm wearing my Raj dress. You can't really see it because I am absolutely covered up. I've got, yeah, there it is, look, Raj dress with a big chunky scarf on that is not me made, and my Amelia jacket, so over it Amelia jacket that I love wearing this time of year. It's great with dresses. So yeah, looking forward to a nice day. And look at that sky. What is happening? It's blue. The sun is shining. It's not come out for a couple of weeks at least, and what is even more strange is that Martin works one weekend in two, and usually his weekend on is like this when he's at work, and when he's off it's horrific weather. So the fact that not only is the sun shining, the sky's blue, it's also happening on Martin's weekend off is just incredible. It's like the stars have aligned. Anyway, we'll see you when we get there. So we're back from Harrogate. We've had a really lovely day. It was so cold, and you know, all I do is moan about the weather, don't I? I had a fabulous day. Weather was beautiful, but freezing cold, and I am still really cold. We got back about an hour and a half ago, and I've still got my dress on, but I've thrown my NH Patterns heather sweater on over the top just because I can't warm up. My hands are still freezing. We've got the heating on, we've got the fire roaring. I've got my little oil-filled radiator on behind me as well, and I am, you know, when you get cold through to the bone and you just can't get warm. Anyway, we've had a really nice day. Spent a fortune, blimey. And I had sort of gone with a bit of a plan that I didn't want to spend too much on. I only needed 2 or 3 things to complete my Christmas list, but oh, it just went all to the wind, didn't it? But anyway, But the good thing about what we did today as well was Martin's cousin owns a store in Harrogate, and it's an independent store. It's called Space, and it's a vintage store, and we went. It's the first time we've ever been, and it is absolutely incredible. They've just opened another one in the Corn Exchange in Leeds, so if you're around that area, then bob in and have a look. But yeah, it's like it's not like an antique store, but it's really retro, vintage everything. So there is clothes, there is accessories, they had a few sewing bits as well, and it's just the most unbelievable place. So, and he was in as well, was Martin's cousin, so it was really nice to see him because we've not seen him for a while. So we were stood and having a chat and whatnot. But yeah, what a brilliant place that is. It's just around the corner from the Ivy where we had lunch, and was just the most amazing place. Anyway, I got a couple of little bits which I can show you. A few bits I got Christmas presents, which obviously you won't be interested in. There's nothing sewing wise, but I did get a couple of little bits for me that I couldn't avoid. So I went into Sophie Allport. She's a bit like, I don't know, a bit like, not Cath Kidston, but a sort of cross between Cath Kidston and, I don't know who to sort of, who they're like really. But anyway, I'm just talking rubbish. You'll have seen a bit of footage that I took. The bit right at the beginning of the trip is from the Sophie Allport store, and they were telling me they've only got 3 stores. They've got a good online presence, but they've only got 3 stores in the UK, but it is in the pipeline to open one in York, which will be amazing. Anyway, I bought a mug from there, which is this one, look, with Christmas trees on. And I know I got a mug from my gorgeous Northern Soul sisters in my advent calendar, but I do collect them, and I just loved this one. They'd got other ones as well with like little sort of sledges with people skiing and stuff. It was just so nice, but I really liked the Christmas tree one, so I thought that was really Christmassy, so I bought myself that. And I also got one of these, which is a diffuser, and this is in the fragrance Neroli Lakes. They had a few different ones, but that smells divine. It really does. So, and they had 15% off everything today as well, which was really nice. So I got them a little bit cheaper. And from my husband's cousin's store, I got a couple of things. So I mentioned that they had a little sewing area. So there was lots of vintage fabrics and accessories. There were old like cotton reels. There was some sewing patterns as well, but sadly nothing that really appealed to me, and lots of haberdashery bits and pieces as well. And I've spotted these buttons, which I just thought are absolutely gorgeous. So these are them here. They are really sparkly, and they're metal buttons, they're not plastic. So yeah, I just had to get those. They're not coming up very sparkly in my viewfinder, but honestly in real life they are so sparkly. I just thought they were gorgeous, so I bought those. And then I got myself, because the goth in me spotted these and I just had to have one, I got myself a little coffin pin badge for £4, but he only charged me a £5. They came to £7, but he charged me a £5 because I'm family, so nice to have a little perk there. So that's everything really that I got for me, apart from, you will have noticed I did put in a little bit of footage of me looking at the thermals after everybody's comments, and I did buy a thermal top. What I wanted was, I wanted a short sleeved one that I can wear under dresses, but there was another lady, a customer, that was chatting to me, and she'd bought one of these long sleeved ones that are like furry lined, and she'd come back to buy more in different colorways because she said they're absolutely amazing. And so up until that point, there was sort of like a cheaper version of thermal tops that I was gonna buy, and then when she let me feel hers, so I was like feeling the lining of it, and was just divine. So that swayed me onto that range. But the short sleeve tops were quite high necked, and I thought, well, that's not going to work under some of the dresses that I have. So I decided to get the long sleeve, because I thought I can just push the long sleeve up, and I got a black sparkly one which looks really nice. So yeah, I could have done with just putting it straight on there and then, to be honest, but anyway, I digress. So I have got myself a thermal top now, and I wore my merino wool tights today as well, but was still very cold. So anyway, I'm still thawing, my fingers are freezing. Anyway, I've come home, we've just had a quick bite to eat for tea, and I have just edited today's footage, but I didn't actually take much. I thought I took more than that. But no, sadly not. So it was, yeah, a lovely day. We spent quite a few hours there, and it was just really, really nice. Really enjoyed it. It's not something that Martin and I normally do. We normally don't really go shopping, but what I was saying was, what was so nice was, we're so into online shopping these days, aren't we, and buying things online. And I think at Christmas it's really nice to visit somewhere to shop in the flesh, because it's an experience as well, isn't it, with all the Christmas lights. And there were a couple of people dressed up as elves that were dancing in the streets, and then they had this Christmas train that went by. I didn't get any footage of it, but it was just so sweet, and it all adds to that Christmas festive cheer, doesn't it, which you don't experience when you're buying online. So I really, really, really enjoyed it. It was a lovely day, and yeah, it was great. I think as well, I mentioned right at the beginning of the vlog that I was really worried about the parking situation, and I think this is my anxiety coming through again, because this is one of the things that puts me off going shopping now, because I get that anxiety about what if I can't get parked, and what if I get into the wrong lane. And not getting lost, that never bothers me at all, but it's more the fact that getting in heavy traffic and not being able to find anywhere to park, or then getting fined for parking in the wrong place and all that kind of stuff. And I get myself quite worked up about it, and that puts me off going to these places. So this morning, I mean, Martin drove anyway, but I was a little bit anxious about that, thinking we're going to be stuck in traffic ages and it's going to be horrendous trying to get parked and all that kind of stuff. And to be honest, it wasn't. It was nice. I think if we'd have gone to York would have been heaving, but Harrogate was lovely, and it's a spa town. It's beautiful. Yeah, really enjoyed it. Very, very happy that we went. So I mentioned that I've been home an hour. I've had my tea. I've warmed up enough to be able to come into the sewing room and function. So I have just sewn up the Brindle and Twig vintage sweatshirt. This is the first time I've made this pattern, prompted by Tamlin, because she's made it loads of times for Taylor, and I made it in the cuddle fleece that I got from First for Fabrics, and here she is. Look at that little sweet little thing. Now, I know you're probably thinking, Rachel, that colour ribbon doesn't go. I didn't want to do a cream or white. I wanted to pick up one of the colours in the fleece, but I didn't actually have anything else that went with it. And I really didn't want to be buying any more ribbings, to be honest. So I found the one that went the best, and I think it sort of works, I think. So I'm really happy with it. This is the age 9 to 12 months. I can tell looking at this, it's going to fit Layla absolutely fine. I mean, it's so beautiful. This is the plush cuddle fleece inside. You can see just how beautifully soft that is. Now, it does have stretch in it, but it's not mega stretchy, isn't this fabric? This is the first time I've ever sewn with this fabric. And what I would say is, it's not the easiest of fabrics to sew with. I think if you are going to start working with stretch fabrics for the first time, I would avoid cuddle fleece or plush, whatever they call it. Squish, they call it that as well, don't they, some people? And the reason for that is it's quite shifty, and I think that's because of the pile, because on the wrong side it does, I don't know if you can see that, but it does have a bit of a pile. And normally with stretch fabrics, I will just run them straight up through my overlocker. I tried that with this. It wasn't having it at all. It was just moving the two layers. So I had to baste all the seams first on my sewing machine and then run it through the overlocker so that everything was lined up properly. And then it was fine. So yeah, just a little tip there. I don't know if anybody's got any other tips about sewing with this kind of fabric. As I say, it's the first time I've sewn with it. The pattern is lovely, and I think this pattern's going to work for this fabric. As I say, it does have stretch, but it's not as stretchy as your other types of like polar fleeces and things like that. And this particular pattern is, because it's a vintage fit, it has like, it's sort of like a balloon shape. The bodice is balloon shaped and the sleeves are balloon shaped, so you've got extra ease there. So I think that's why this is going to work. I think if I'd have gone for, those of you that watch my sewing vlogs aside from Vlogmas, I mean, I can't imagine why you just come here for Vlogmas, but anyway, you might remember if you watched one of my Stitched Up weeklies back in October, November, early November, I made the poppy pullover by Easily Made Patterns. I'll put a picture of Layla in it here. I tested that pattern, and that pattern would not be good for this fabric, I don't think. I think it would be really hard to get on and off. I'm a little bit worried about this neckline, if I'm honest, because I'm a bit worried that's not going to go on over her head. And I don't know why, but again, it might be because it's 9 to 12 months. So we'll see anyway. It either will or it won't. If it won't, I'll just have to do what I did with the poppy pullover when I tested that. I'll just have to cut it off and make it a bigger one. It's as simple as that. But anyway, I've got that sewn up. It's taken me about an hour. I think if I was using a different fabric base, it would have been quicker, but because I had to baste everything first, yeah, and just make sure those seams were lined up and everything, it's just taken me a little bit longer than it normally would. But yeah, that's done. So the next thing I'm going to make up, I think, is my Raj dress, because I have got that cut out. So I think I'm going to start sewing that up, and then the next thing will be cutting out my Coco. And lots of you were actually really excited about it. A few of you were saying, oh wow, I can remember the Coco and made the Coco in the past, and a few of you have got the pattern, have never made it. So I think a couple of people mentioned about the neckline and worried about the sequins. I've already thought of that. Now on that fabric, on that sequin fabric, the selvage is quite wide and it's plain velvet. So I'd already thought, I don't want, obviously, the when you sort of hem and you turn the fabric over, I don't want the sequins to be on that side. So there's two ways I can deal with it. One is removing the sequins on the parts that are close to my skin once I've hemmed it, and same with the neckline. Or I can cut facing, so I can cut like a hem facing for the wrists and a hem facing for the neckline, and cut that just from the plain black velour on the selvage. And I think that's what I'm going to do, so that is facing my skin and the sequins are just on the outside. I think sewing with sequins, I have done it before, not this type of fabric. I've sewn with proper sequined non-stretch fabric before, and yes, you have to remove the sequins. You have to be really careful how you sew it, because you can break needles, and you need to be careful running it through your overlocker, that kind of thing. I don't think I'm going to put this through the overlocker. I think I will just sew it up on my sewing machine. And I'm fairly sure with these sequins, because they're not really thick sequins, some sequin fabrics, the sequins are actually really quite thick and plasticky, whereas these are very, very fine. So I think they'll be all right on the sewing machine, but we'll find out, won't we, when we start sewing it up. So I'm going to get the Raj done first, because I want to see how that looks with a proper waist, although I've really enjoyed wearing this dress again today. It's been lovely. And then I am going to get the Coco cut out, and we'll see how that turns out. Yeah, before we do that, before we open the advent calendars, I just wanted to say a huge thank you to the lovely Joanne, Jenny and Sandra for buying me coffees. Thank you so much. That was really helpful today. Right, calendars, let's crack on. I know a couple of people have said as well that they're not that impressed with the Kylie and the Machine calendar. I'm a bit, I don't know. Some of them I really like, and some of them I've thought, but I think that's the thing with these things. It must be really difficult to create, for a calendar like this, 24 unique individual different labels that are all designed completely differently, have different logos on them, slogans, whatever you want to call them. So I think it must be really tough. So anyway, let's crack on. We'll go to day 14. My face is really flushed again. This is because I've gone from really cold to now getting finally warm. Day 14 says, an affirmation for your made items. May they all have long lives. Okay, let's crack on and have a look. So we've got two labels today, and they say, wear me out. Wear me in. So they say, wear me in on one side. Hang on, let me move my fingers out of the way so you can see that. And wear me out on the other. I quite like those actually. They're all right. Yeah, they will do nicely. Thank you very much. And next we will go to lovely Becky, Jazz and Wow. So let me see if I can find day 14. Got it. Day 14. Earrings. I love it when we get earrings. Oh, earrings today. Before I have a look at these are my earrings that I've worn today, which are Jazz and Wow earrings. These are the gold and black ones from her winter collection. I think she does these in a blush as well, and I've absolutely loved wearing them. I love these earrings. They go with my dress so well. And I'm looking so beetroot red now. Oh, Becky, they're gorgeous. So do you remember earlier during Vlogmas, we got a lovely heart necklace that was pink and red. So now we have the earrings to match. Look at those. They're absolutely beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you, Becky. They're gorgeous. So these are just on, I don't think they have a, yeah, they're just on little, what they're called, just the little circle bits. That sounds so ridiculous. I don't know what I'm talking about, do I? They just have the little hook loop things on that you have to then attach to something else, so you can put them on a ring. You can tell I don't make jewellery, can't you? Because I don't know what I'm talking about. They're beautiful. Thank you, Becky. So now we have matching earrings and necklace. Wonderful. And then finally my gorgeous Northern Soul Sisters, day 14. I'm looking in the wrong one. It's this one. Day 14. Oh, is this? Straight to it again. So, what's this? I can't figure out what it is. It feels very knobbly. It's definitely not a flamingo today. What is it? Ooh! Look at that. Bailey's chocolate nut mix. I have never seen these before. They are going to be amazing. I'm going to put them away for Christmas, because if I open the bag now, I will just snaffle the lot in one go. Thank you, girls. Love that. Right. I'm going to head off, go make another coffee in my lovely new mug, because I'm very depleted in caffeine today. And we'll do Pipermas and Beermas shortly.
Good evening. It's Pipermas time and Beermas. And just so you all notice, I don't always wear band t-shirts, but there you go.
It's still black.
Yeah, what other colour is this?
Piper!
Piper?
Where is he?
Oh, he's here, look. Face.
Oh, hello.
Come on,
Were you,
come to the centre.
were you sat in front of the warm telly, Piper?
He was. He likes the warm telly.
He does.
Come on.
Everybody was saying how good you are.
He is, and we're going to sit.
That's only because, you know, you've got food.
Paw. One paw. Two paws. Touch.
They've not seen you when you're running around like an idiot.
Yeah, but... Right, what do we do? Gently. Gently. Oh, good
boy. You are good.
Right.
Right.
Now it's my turn to be a good boy. And we are looking for number 14, which is...
Yeah, we're back.
Right, number 14, I've spotted.
I've just cleaned the camera lens then, because it was a little bit cloudy.
And it's beer.
Yeah.
And it's... Oh.
What have we got?
Noah.
Noah. Oh, that's a cool can.
It is a cool can.
I like that. Are you going to crack it?
I will crack it. The things I do for you. We'll find out if I like it, and then you can have a taste too.
Okay. Oh, he's a very happy boy.
What is it?
It's a stout.
It's a stout.
Shall we try?
Let's try. You'll like that.
My face is really red. I'm getting flushed now because of the heating. I'm finally thawing out.
Yeah, you'll like that.
Oh, that is nice. That's a nice beer. Yeah.
You nearly slopped that everywhere. Where are you going? Come back. Stop it.
I'm going to leave him to his beer, and I'm going to leave you guys. Oh yeah, well, stout, whatever it is. And I will see you tomorrow.